This week's episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Squarespace.
Halo, ODST.
And GoDaddy.com. Coming up on today's Totally Rad Show, we are talking about Jennifer's Body, Scribblenauts, Modern Warfare 2, and the results to the summer wager. Right? That's what I'm talking about?
Three rad friends on a lazy weekend attempt to comprehend a story without end. To the attic they ascend, start to read and pretend that they meet and befriend a magic luck dragon. Between the bookends, it missed out on the trends and needs them to recommend games and films to attend. We don't mean to offend, you'll just have to suspend your disbelief and contend with the Totally Rad Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 131. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Totally Rad Show is your weekly dose of all things rad. Welcome to the relaunch of our show.
Woohoo!
We are completely redesigning the shizo.
This has been a long time coming for us.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, I think it was Jeff's season 2 that he pitched.
I wanted
2
to.
years ago.
Actually, I think
it's
I was
finally here.
Yeah, it was season 2 from season 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But you know, we didn't do it all by ourselves.
No. A lot of work from not only the man, the myth, the legend, one, Mike Gaines.
Yes.
You
Now
haven't
you-
even seen, they've
you
only
haven't
seen just a
seen.
taste of what's
That's
new.
why he's the man, the myth, and the legend.
Yeah.
Yes, because he's the man, because you saw the cool new opening. He's the myth, because people are talking about the next parts. And he's a legend, because he
And the
just
opening that they
plays stuff
saw,
fun.
they don't even know. They don't even
know it. We're not going to blow your minds
Yeah.
yet.
What you
Just
did
stick
see,
tuned.
the music that you saw at the beginning of the show, we have to thank Matt Dietrich. He did a fantastic
Yes.
job. Actually, we should thank, we Twittered out requesting help from musicians because none of us are musicians per se. I mean, we have. But we got a lot of people who sent in stuff, and I have to
a
thank
lot of really great stuff.
every single
Yeah.
person. So thank you all for contributing. But Matt is the one who ended up using his stuff, and we couldn't be happier. So
Definitely. And also, thank you to Gustav.
yeah, he's got the background this week.
But he also did all of our segment backgrounds that you have seen.
The ones we're just replacing now. So
Yeah.
he's the last
Yes.
almost over a year?
Over a year, we've
Yeah.
been blessed by his wonderful
fantastic
arts.
work. So we thought this would be a nice bridge between his old stuff and where we're going with him doing the
And we got a
background
new
for the week.
website, thanks to the guys over at Squarespace who helped us out. The designers over at Squarespace are
Phenomenal.
amazing. So check out TotallyRadShow.com. So easy.
Yeah. And Nikki.
And Nikki,
so
well, we're going to thank Nikki after you guys get to see all the work she has put in.
Yes. Fantastic.
Because we're going to talk about stuff in the show.
So we hope you like it.
right now.
Check it out.
This week in movies, we're talking about Jennifer's Body.
Hey-o!
Jokes? Any?
No,
now?
we already did them.
Oh, there's going to be more. You just wait for it.
Yep.
Jennifer's Body comes from a female powerhouse of filmmakers. Directed by Karen Kusama, who did the awesome Girl Fight back in the day, which was the movie
yeah.
that discovered, what do they used to say? Introducing Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, thank you for that.
and then was
really good in Girl
totally
Fight.
missing in action. I like Michelle Rodriguez, and Girl Fight is awesome.
Yeah.
Until she got on my Lost. And then
And then we went disappeared for a while, and then made Aeon Flux, which bombed.
Yeah.
And is returning with this movie. Now, you guys may also have remembered us talking about this flick years ago when we talked about Juno, because this was the screenplay that Diablo Cody had written at the same time as Juno. And so there you go, written by Diablo Cody, Academy Award winning or nominated? Winning? She won,
Winning,
right? Yeah, she
yes.
won. And stars Megan Fox as Jennifer Body.
she brings the body.
Yes.
She's also Jennifer, the character.
Right. So the story, it's
It's not even worth it.
it's high school, and two girls are best friends. one of them becomes supernatural and kills dudes.
Yeah.
I guess that's fairly concise.
She
Becomes
eats
supernatural.
and eats men. Eats the boys.
She's a man-eater.
There you go.
Whoa, here
Alex,
she comes.
Yes.
you really have not been a fan of Diablo Cody. You didn't like Juno.
I
and you
believe
didn't
there
like,
was hatred.
Yeah.
Hatred.
And you didn't like the
United
TV
States of Terror.
United States of Terror.
Yep.
Third time around.
Third time around.
Swing and a miss or home run?
First base single. I mean, I don't think it was a swing and a miss. Definitely it wasn't a home run. I mean, it was just sort of a good movie. It was okay. You know, there was some jumpy parts. I didn't really think that there was anything remarkable about the story. I mean, like, well, we've never seen this before. You know what I mean? Like weird supernatural stuff happening in high school. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, okay. I thought the acting was pretty good. This is the most hot, I think, that most attractive I've been towards Megan Fox. You know what I mean? She brought the body.
Am I?
She was.
I did not think
attractive?
so. But,
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
probably all the blood that was on her.
no.
You know, I mean, when the Dakotaisms start to fly, you know, the
Diabloisms, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, Dakota. Oh, sorry.
You know, saying Jello instead of jealous. Let's see if that one sticks. And now the kids are saying it. You know, it's like that stuff just irks me, and has since Juno, where it's like, okay, even if kids talk like that nowadays, which I'm skeptical of, I don't like it. So it's like, okay, he says
All right.
cheeses fries instead of Jesus Christ. You're cool. You're not cool, in my opinion. So when those things popped in, I was like, Cody. And then, but the story was fine. The story was fine, and there was enough jumps, and there was some blood. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I didn't.
All right.
Didn't hate it.
Jeffrey, Ian Canada.
I really liked this movie. A lot. I was really expecting it not to be good. It's a movie that I would not have gone to see were it not for the show. But I'm glad I did. I had a lot of fun, and I know there's going to be a little bit of Alex hating me, but I really dig Diablo Cody. I like
A lot of people do.
I like
There's
those
nothing wrong with it.
idiosyncratic plays on words, and I find them fun and whimsical. And I think she's a lot like Kevin Smith, in the sense that we're going to get probably a body of work from her that's going to be very much her voice, and almost...
Or Tarantino. I was getting halfway through. I went. This
Yeah,
is like
I mean, I don't
Tarantino.
think-
You get the same word speak. Like the way
Yeah,
people talk
yeah.
is the same in every movie.
I think he's a more skilled storyteller
yeah,
than
I agree
she.
with that,
You know, I think what will end up happening with her is that all her movies are going to be of a certain thing. They're going to stick out like a sore thumb. But I'll enjoy that. When I'll dip into that universe of her mannerism, I'll enjoy it. And I really liked it here. And I'm not a huge fan of Megan Fox, but I feel like if Megan Fox had Diablo Cody writing all of her movies, she would come out looking like an awesome actor, because she was sort of born to play this. You know, she's so severe looking anyway. She's beautiful, but in that like aggressive, beautiful way, that she's kind of made to be this almost scary, kind of very overconfident demon, you know?
Boy eater is what I think Dan pegged her as.
I really, when I was a kid, I really loved reading Stephen King. You know, especially through junior high and stuff. And this reminded me of a really fun Stephen King story.
Cool.
What do you think, Dan? Swing and a miss? Home run with your
Triple?
your friend?
I would say a triple.
Bunt? Bunt?
I loved, didn't like it, folks, loved JB. I couldn't be more.
These are one of the times when I hate
I am
reviewing
on-
movies with you, Dan.
I am more diametrically. I
Good
could not be. We
Lord.
couldn't be more opposed, because I also thought Megan Fox was disgusting looking. Not with the blood on her face. Like,
How did you love the
I
blood?
don't
You
even,
like the blood on her
I don't
face.
even get what's attractive about her. And I think her real life persona has
You
seeped
did see
in
the body
to-
when she was doing all the body parts.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, just-
but
just wanted to see.
anyway, that's an aside.
Remember that part where she bit her lip
But
and
I
looked
agree
like
with
this?
you in that she was a really good actress.
Does that do anything for you?
When Jeff
she
does
was she was perfectly cast in this movie.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Oats, my goats.
I thought it was every line was interesting. Every image was interesting. In a sea of sequels and remakes, I think this is totally distinct and unique and original. And it's so refreshing to see it that way, visually and orally. And it
also,
does
there's a
something
lot
that
of really
every
good orally action.
it does something that every
I agree with the orally.
every good horror movie does, in that it takes the psychological stresses, in this case of teenagerdom, and makes them overt. And it really said something about what it was talking about, on top of being really scary and fun.
And the story unfolds in a really fun, sort of postmodern, self-aware way,
Right.
which is very Diablo Cody, but is fun. And you know, the antagonists that we meet and how played against type they are. It's fun. It's all very fun and smart, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. Not really.
Moving on. So this week, some interesting news about Blockbuster Video.
Did it explode? Under the weight of the internet.
Yeah, well, you know, things
Kind of.
like Netflix and
Yeah.
the kiosks that are out there have really put them.
Red something is
Yeah,
what the kiosks are called?
something like
Red
that.
Zone or Red
Red
Box?
Box?
Red Box.
Yeah, Redbox.
You still talking about Jennifer Spotty?
Well, Blockbuster is now
Well, that's terrible.
There were no redheaded girls.
getting rid of 20% of their stores, I believe.
That's smart.
And starting to put out more kiosks. And I just sort of wanted to put to you guys, we grew up with the video store.
Yes.
We did.
Errol's Video.
We sort of our
yeah, we had an Errol's.
youth was encompassed the birth of the video store,
That's
and
right.
it's sort of the sort of anti feelings against it, and then the kind of height of its popularity, and now it's demise.
That's right. Back in the day, you saw movies in the theater. You didn't rent them.
And when that sort of started happening, there was a lot of decries of.
And how do you guys feel about this now? And how do you feel about the you can just get movies mailed to you? You don't need to go to the store to.
I think it's beyond even mailed to you. I'm at the point now where I rarely even use my Netflix subscription for mailed discs.
Right.
I
Oh, yeah.
only use it when I can't watch those things instantly.
But here's the other thing that allow me to blow Dine's minds, which
Right.
is I see more movies. Maybe it's because of the show. I don't really even sit down and watch movies, except in a theater lately.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just because we go to so many movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
We have a lot of games to play.
and we have a lot of games to play. But yeah, but I mean, like for me, you
And
know,
TV is really good.
I have a Netflix subscription. I have the same discs that I have. I had Z-Town and Dogtown and Z-Boys, the TV set,
Great.
and this movie has not yet been rated.
All good movies.
Which I've now seen all.
You can
I've seen
instant all of
them.
those, I believe.
No, I've seen them
Yeah.
all. But I still have the discs because there's nothing on my list that I'm like waiting to get in the mail. I just, you know.
I heard on NPR that the real unspoken secret of the movie industry that no one is really talking about,
'Cause it's
making it
unspoken.
is that the DVD market, sales of DVDs,
Right.
is plummeting.
Yeah.
And that, you know, they're talking about box office receipts, which really only matter a small percentage in the overall profitability of a movie, and that so much of that in the last decade has been from DVD, and now that is disappearing, and that's the real problem for movie studios, and it's all due to online.
Well, I'll tell you what it made me think of too, and let me just say too, I worked in a video store, and I think that those people that say, oh, now you can't go to the video store and talk to people and get recommendations.
Who did that?
I think that's the most romantic idea of.
It's just because
that's Quentin
of Kevin Smith's
Tarantino and
movies,
it's
yeah.
like it's not that. I mean, it's a shame
Nobody did
for
that at
some of those people.
Blockbuster.
Right.
Yeah,
Maybe the mom and pop
or
store.
Arrows.
Right.
I'd go into Arrows and I'd be like, could you stop talking to me?
And I used to, I was a part of that. You know, I
Movies
worked at
worth Conan.
I worked at Suncoast, and I used to recommend all the kung fu movies, and you know.
love it.
But like, I think that was such a rarity anyway that I'm not sad that that's gone. I mean, it was nice, but I did love wandering around the store and staring at covers.
Yeah.
But I think that was a youth thing, because that was before skepticism, where I
Now
would
I
just rent something based on the badass dragon on the cover.
Now I
Yeah.
scroll
I mean,
Netflix
yeah.
online and scroll through covers. I mean, it's similar.
But it really made me think of, and you guys have seen this, which I can just give Mike the picture, right?
Yeah.
This
skin
on my
thing.
I have a skin on my iPhone that has these VHS. This is
Yeah.
basically my shelf at home, and I would
Right.
assume your guys' shelf, where I had these VHS tapes filled with, and I remember the day where I thought tapes were just SP, and then I discovered SLP, where I could fit 3 movies in one tape.
My dad was so far ahead of that curve. We have a majestic VHS movie collection, and he was very, he used every second of those tapes, and everything was very well.
Because back then they would air something on TV, and it's like, well, I could own that. I could watch that whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
This is so you had to capture it in this horrible quality.
I don't think. I don't deal with media that way anymore.
Exactly.
No.
Now you don't need to own something because it's all out there whenever you want to access it. You don't need to own it, you can just access it, which
And
is
you can take it in like bite size too. You don't have to go see the whole thing. You can go find that scene that you like and watch that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's interesting.
So here we are. Finally, the summer is totally over. It was officially over like a few weeks ago. Now
But we wanted to wait and let things settle.
we needed to let the last movies of the summer get the box office they were gonna get.
That last rock dropped into the pool of summer, and we needed to let those ripples fade.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
that
what
rock
we're doing
was
is,
9.
so if you missed where we started our wager, we're using this Time Travel Reviews Summer Movie Pool rules. And we did these lists.
And this is U.S. domestic box office.
That's right, not
international.
worldwide. Right. So we all had some interesting theories of how the summer would go down.
It seems so obvious at the beginning,
I know,
doesn't it?
right?
Yes.
And it never works out the way you think.
No. It's not as much about the quality of the movie.
Never.
It's not as much about the marketing of the movie, which is what I always thought it was. It's weekend. And I will bring that up later.
Scheduling.
It's the scheduling of the summer.
Okay.
We'll get there. So, number one.
I would like to point out that's a distinction that's interestingly unique about movies when compared to video games. Because almost always, video games' success is tied to the quality of the game. Almost always.
Yeah.
Which is not the case with movies.
I think I've said that before.
It sounds like something you said.
refuted that.
It sounds like something you would say.
No, I feel like, anyway. Okay.
Why would we ever disagree? We never do that.
All right, number one movie of the summer, and I know who got this right, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah.
The guy with the
Good
thumbs.
work. Good work. 10 points to you,
13
sir.
points.
That
10
okay.
point.
My number one was Star Trek.
Interesting. My number 1 was Harry Potter.
Right, which we doubted you. We
did. remember.
We scoffed.
I said
some-
no other Harry Potter movie in the history.
I
would
believe
have
there was some
gotten the numbers.
chortling.
Well, it's the only Harry Potter movie to be released in the summers, and we
right.
thought that I remember saying that the book series had ended, so maybe the momentum was
And the
gone.
movies have never made this kind of money, but this summer, you, sir, are the number 2. Harry
Boo,
Potter
yeah.
is 2.
So
So that's
7 points for you.
7 points.
Oh, my number 2 is way worse.
okay.
My number 2 is freaking Terminator.
Well, what-
Which
Wow.
shocked me that how poorly it did. I thought a PG-13 Terminator was a no-brainer.
Yeah, Terminator isn't even in the top 10.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
My number 2 is Transformers, so I was not
Okay.
far off
So that's
there.
7.
Were
So we're
you-
at 10, 7, and 7.
And 0.
What was your number 2?
Star Trek.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm waiting on that.
Yeah. Number 3, Up.
Up. So
Oh, I was
Huge.
1 away.
The biggest
One
Pixar
away.
success, money. Or
Yeah.
No, not true. But summer made the most in summer because I think Finding Nemo and some of those earlier ones are biggest all-time grossing. But
So wait, so my number 3 was Star Trek. So Star Trek was 5. So 2 away is something, or was it just
2 away
It's
is
5
5
points.
points.
big deal. Higher than Ratatouille the year before.
Yeah.
That's why it surprised me.
Wow.
Okay, the craziest thing of
Yeah.
the summer, which is something that you should benefit
Massive
from, but I don't
props
think
to
you're-
Alex.
Well, sort of, but I think on his list. But you had. Oh, sorry, sir.
That's okay, sir. I love you.
And this is what I was talking about beforehand.
What?
The Hangover.
The Hangover.
Number 4 highest grossing film of the summer.
And it should be said,
3 points for
probably
me.
going to be the biggest money maker because it cost the least in relation to how much money it's made.
Could be. I don't know.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It
Yeah.
made almost $300 million. Transformer made 400, but cost like 5 times as much.
Yeah.
True. What's crazy is I don't think you could say that The Hangover is. I mean, Hangover is now, even in all time, it's really high up there.
Yeah.
Is it a better comedy. Is it funnier than There's Something About Mary
Yeah.
or Old School,
It's
which
very
only came out a
weird.
couple
I don't
years
know
ago?
how it keyed off.
No, I don't think so.
It came at the right time.
Scheduling.
Yeah.
That is weak because it's not even, it didn't have better marketing than Old School. I think Old School people would
about
regard as a
scheduling.
better comedy, but same directors, Will
It
Ferrell.
didn't have any competition as far as funny movies then. It kind
Exactly.
of came at a time when people wanted to see something
Yeah.
funny.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, number 5, Star Trek, which was my
Okay.
number 1.
So now, interesting. So I'm 1, 2, 3 away.
Oh, by the
So
way,
that
my number
means-
4, I'm sorry to go back. My number 4 was not The Hangover. My number 4 was Harry Potter.
My number 4 is Harry Potter as well.
Right.
Which is 2 away from number 2.
1, 2.
5 points, right?
So 5 points. So what did you have as number 5?
Number 5, I had Transformers. So that was 5 away.
So it's just
or
on your
4
list.
away,
You get
so
on
that's
the
a
list
3.
points. Yeah.
And what was your number 5, Jeff?
My number 5 was Up. So it was 2 away from
Oh, good
3.
for you. My number 5 was Wolverine, which we'll be getting to later. Okay, number 6. On here it's Monsters vs. So that's wrong, so we have to adjust everything. Ice Age.
Wow.
Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, number 6.
Which was one of my dark horses. I will say also, I heard on NPR that Ice Age internationally crushes everything.
Yeah.
It has made more money, and nobody knows why.
Is Ice Age on anybody's list?
It was on my dark horse, that's it.
It's on my list. It's 2 away on my list.
Wow.
Because all
Dark
the
Horse
Ice
is one.
Ages
No,
are
no, no,
there.
yeah,
I don't go to
smart.
them, but they're there. What was it?
Wolverine was my
Okay.
number 6, 2 away from 8.
And my 6 was Up. So I had
Wait
it
a
way
minute.
further down.
Wolverine
Okay.
was the first action movie of the summer.
Made pretty good money at the start of the summer. We all thought it was poop, and a lot of people thought it was
What-
poop, but it was the first
What
movie
I
of its
didn't,
time.
So was
It's also
what I
seven
didn't
rather.
know at the time was that Tim Riggins is in that movie.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Would have enjoyed it much more had I known that.
Or you would have been more disappointed. Speaking of that, number 7,
Wolverine.
Origins Wolverine. Hey-o!
So 1 away gets how many points? 7?
1 away is 7.
Yeah. And I had it as 5.
I had it as
Wolverine.
8.
So that's 2 away.
I mean 9. I had it at 9, so it's
is 5.
1, 2 away.
What was
7.
your 7?
My 7 was G.I. Joe.
That was my 8.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
My
We'll be getting there. We'll be getting there. So number 8
my
is
7 was Angels and Demons.
Night at the Museum.
Oh!
I think you're the only guy that had that on your list, right?
And in the
Dan
number
had it.
8
Mine was
slot.
a dark horse.
Yeah.
So I get 1 point for that?
Get 1 point.
I had it in number 8, the slot.
Oh, you got
That's
nailed.
major.
10 pizzoints.
Major, Alex.
10
Major.
pizzoints.
My 8 was Ice Age. Okay, number 9, The Proposal.
All right.
Also scheduling. It's like Mamma Mia last year. It's a romantic comedy for the older set. I mean, really anyone. I actually saw it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great. The first act was actually kind of great. The second act was like, I didn't know what was happening. So
I had Wolverine,
No one's got that
which is
on the
a
list.
3.
Yeah. What was your 9, Jeff?
My 9 was Night at the Museum.
Okay. So
Mine was Wolverine.
all right. Number 10.
Yep.
Is G.I. Joe.
Hey!
Now my number 10
And my number 10.
tanked the crap out of the tank.
Yeah.
Just Bruno. We both thought it was gonna
Mine,
Yeah.
that was, none of my dark horses made it, which seems
be only one of mine.
weird.
Yeah, my dark horse were Land of the Lost, Funny People, Night at the Museum.
Yeah, I thought Funny People in year 1 were gonna be something, and both of those tanked.
Don't worry, nobody's home.
And what were your dark horses besides?
Drag Me to Hell, Bruno, and The Time Traveler's Wife.
Right.
So interestingly, 3 of the movies on my top 10, I got 0 points for. They weren't even on the list. And 2 of my dark horses.
Me
so that's
too.
5
Me
movies
too.
for which I got 0
Me
points.
too. Me too.
Crazy.
I'm predicting Alex is the winner.
I don't know.
So Alexander Albrecht.
So my number,
Should we all say count to 3 and we all say our number at the same time?
yeah. Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3.
41.
So
You
I
won.
won.
What'd you say? 48? What'd you say?
41.
I was 36.
The good news is I didn't lose
Yeah, I got creamed.
So that's-
entirely.
2 years in a row for this guy.
This guy with the foresight to say
The
scheduling.
William Forsythe? I
Even though that
for
didn't
me-
help you that much.
Transformers really.
Yeah, basically
yeah.
it's the scoring system. It's your number 1 being dead on.
I really think the majority of this is all guesswork. I mean,
Well, true.
It's
Of course.
it's educated guesswork, but at the end of the day, it's like you say scheduling. I'm not gonna look up and figure out what the thing. Nor did I have the knowledge of that in my head when I was doing this. Of like, well, that comes out on blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's definitely
Because there's some stuff here that I'm shocked didn't make the list.
Yeah.
You know, Bruno, shocking that didn't make the list.
Yeah.
Terminator, you know.
Terminator for me is the biggest shock. And of course, The Hangover has to be a huge shock, just in the sense that it's number 4.
It is a major
like-
shock. Yeah.
I know. I threw it on there at number 10 just to be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got me 3 points.
All right, so
Good work, gentlemen.
Washing my car, I guess.
I'll flip for the $8 across the street. It's probably going to be a better wash.
probably.
Reload.
If you've been watching our show, you've probably realized we are not the most passionate multiplayer shooter fans. We don't play a lot of multiplayer shooters.
Yeah.
We like the single player side,
We're not
but
climbing the ranks of the
Yeah.
one.
In fact, the one time when we did get pretty stoked,
what game was it, Dan?
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Whoa!
And we had a chance to check out the multiplayer side of Modern Warfare 2, which is arguably the biggest release of the year coming out this November. So check us out, checking it out.
Wow, awesome.
I know, it looks so good.
We're on the same team?
Yeah. Jeff,
Do
Dan,
this.
quickly, for camera.
Modern Warfare style.
I am gonna suck somebody's bullet testicles.
Great.
It's a different plan than what I'm going with. I'm not gonna do any sucking, I hope.
I can hear you. I can't.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Oh, can you hear me?
Dan Trachtenberg, Totally Rad Show. I'm voting to skip. I'm voting to skip.
I'm Zubov. Who are you? Who are you? Zubov.
Borodin.
Borodin, who are you?
Price.
Price. Well, I'll remember Price.
Favela.
And now I forgot. You're Major Favela?
Explosions are happening.
Grenade in!
Yeah, baby, 60 points. Woo! Secure this position, Zubov.
I'm here with you,
Yeah,
my
we
friend!
positioned it.
Oh! I was killed by
I got
Sergeant
killed.
Jackson. Oh, but I got points.
We secured it. Sticking together, team.
Where's the team? I got
Payback.
payback.
I got payback. They're nutty.
I got an airdrop. Oh, how did I die? Suck it. Oh, yeah!
What just happened?
I just got one of the thingamajiggies. Don't ask me what that means.
Kill streak, UAV.
You do it.
Si, senor.
Oh.
That B.
Wow.
Yeah!
Awesome.
Wi-Fi.
Epic.
Well done, dude.
This one will be the last game?
One will be the last game. This round is
One more.
It's the last one.
Behind you. Whoop, somebody's behind me. All right, they're just grenading the crap out of us. How do we score points?
Right here, right field.
They're just grenading the crap out of our building.
Oh.
Get him, here they come!
Oh! Amazing! I'm planting! Amazing! Shoot a
right,
plant faster!
Defend.
What's going on?
What? What goes again?
We gotta defend.
Dude, get your shield out. I'm behind you with this shield. Get to A, everybody to A. Defusing, defusing, defusing. Guard me, guard me. Guard me, oh, I blew up. Where was all the guarding?
We are terrible. We are terrible.
Amazing.
We are terrible.
Amazing.
When I was planting, it was like, I literally was 75% planted.
Yeah, I was like,
so
I was
defended.
diffusing, I'm diffusing.
Love it. Well, gentlemen, that was Modern Warfare 2.
Little multiplayer action. Get a drink. Daniel,
I have received a drink.
haircut.
I mean, we were excited for this game to begin with. Now we're just,
You know, I'm impressed with how silky smooth it is, how quick everything goes.
I love the levels, dude.
I know.
A Fabula,
The fact that you can
Favela.
change, the fact that you can change what your upgrades are as you do your kill streaks is
And stealing the class is awesome.
stealing
They
class.
made it even deeper. They made it even more like game.
Yeah, they go deep and go hard already, and they're going even deeper and harder.
Yeah, they really did.
It's like double deep, double hard. Should be their new slogan. I'm gonna coin that. Coined.
Coined.
All right, let's get some brews and play again, maybe.
Sounds good to me.
What up? Dude, that was too much fun.
Yeah, right? It was really
Free
great.
food.
And it looks like it's capturing the. Whoa. There's a game there too. It
Those
looks like
macaroni
it's-
balls were awesome.
It looks like
Amazing,
they're
right?
taking what we all got so addicted to with the first Modern Warfare multiplayer.
And kicking it up a notch.
Kicking it up a notch. So, Alex.
Well, I mean, it's amazing. First off, it's liquid smooth.
Yeah.
Silky smooth. Great graphics. The fact that they added more XP elements to the game really, I loved. You know, we were killing a guy. You kill a guy and you get 300 XP because it was like he was the guy that just killed you last. So
Yeah.
now you get payback. You hit him in the head. Headshot gets 50 points, whatever. Blah blah blah. Whereas, and then I went back and watched. I just happened to be flipping through and saw XPlay's review of Modern Warfare 1, the multiplayer, and I sat because I was like, oh, okay, and I watched, and it was like 10, 15.
Yeah.
Like there weren't really things, and plus then you can now customize your
Class?
your awards
Oh, right.
for when you have your kill
streaks,
streaks,
your kill
kill
streaks.
streaks, which is amazing, and they have some very satisfying kill streaks. And then the big thing for me was the steal a class. If you die 4 times in a row because you're in there with somebody who has all their stuff decked out, you can just go, you know what, give me their class. And everything that they have is unlocked for
It's a
you in that
clever
round.
way of getting around that thing which I remember us complaining about, which is sort of the more people who put time into the game are sort of already better than you
Yeah.
as far as what they've got equipped
Yeah.
and what they can do. And so you can feel like, man, I'm just getting worked because that guy unlocked
gun,
more stuff
has
than
a
me.
thing. Yeah.
And now you can just grab his stuff if he's working you.
Right. It's like, what I was saying, the kill streaks. To go even further, where when you kill 3 people, you unlock UAV in the first one, and then 5 people is this. Well, now not only now you have something when you have a 4 kill streak,
Yeah, I forgot about
which
that.
adds just that extra layer of depth. But to customize this means that well, okay, you on the squad, you take all these things, and I'll take these things. So it just creates more game, more depth. And then the death streaks is where that's just one of the things, is copycat, where someone kills you 4 times in a row, you can take their stuff.
Oh, you think there's gonna be
other
more death
things?
streaks?
Yeah,
Yeah, they show.
there's death streaks rewards. There were even in when we were playing. We just didn't, luckily for us, we weren't being killed that much.
I mean, why would we ever?
And what it is, it's just balancing the game. And so
Yeah.
you just said it's giving you a shot. If someone's way better than you, it gives you a shot, so you don't feel completely helpless.
And also something
But
to
it's just
do.
more it's more. It's not just find the guy and kill him. There's these added things that are fun to do.
And there's
very
like
well
the
thought
blast
out.
shields now, or not blast shields, but like the
Riot shields?
Riot
I think they
shields.
were there.
They were in
where you
there
can
for
get
some,
behind. Yeah, but I never saw people using those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seemed like they were really functional. Like I was trailing behind this guy with like a big. Oh, and shotguns are now a secondary weapon. So before it was like you choose the shotgun and then you have a handgun. But with this, it's like, okay, well I can actually you can upgrade the secondary weapon, which is pretty important.
Well, we'll be talking a lot more about Modern Warfare 2, but that early look really looked promising. Let's talk about the big game that
So if
came
you
out.
weren't going to buy it,
Yeah, I'm sure. Right.
You
listen to
one
us.
person.
Let's talk about the big game that came out this week, which hopefully, if you've been watching the show, you've already heard us talk about because it blew us away when we saw it first at E3. And that game is Scribblenauts. It's from Warner Brothers is publishing it, but it's from a developer called Fifth Cell. And their previous game was called Drawn to Life. And much like that game, this game is kind of about you giving the game content with which to play. That's a terrible way of explaining what Scribblenauts does, which is basically you're a little guy who has a series of problems to get through, and you just write down nouns, basically, and those things appear in your world. And so there's a number of puzzle levels and a number of sort of more action-y movement levels. And it's all about figuring out ways to solve those problems using items that you manifest. And the game is incredible in the number of things that it has in it. So it's really all about what can you imagine. The types of problems you deal with can be anywhere from very simple, just give something to somebody, all the way to sort of more esoteric, what does that mean to you kind of puzzles. And I think that's where the game is really pretty magical, in the sense that you've got a mode where you have to solve the level once, and then another mode, if you want to gold star it, where you have to solve it 3 times in 3 different ways. So the game really rewards thinking outside the box. Now I know, Dan, like me at E3, you were flipping out at the amazingness of this game. Does it, in play, keep your interest? Is it everything you hoped it would be, or does it get old a little bit for you?
Well, it does definitely fulfill the promise of the tease. It definitely, everything we saw, and imagining how it would be to actually play, it fulfills. It is a pretty awesome game. And something I said at E3 that I still feel now is I love the idea that now that this has been made, the implementation of this kind of thing in other games. So if I'm playing a Harry Potter game, instead of having to scroll through and select a magical spell, if I could if I conjure was a spell, if I could just type in something I wanted to conjure, whatever.
Well, we don't know that's going to ever happen. But
no, but I love the idea of
right, well, what about this
now that this has
particular
been
game?
established. But I mean, it is a lot. It is crazy that it's what you always wanted when you're playing a Space Quest or a King's Quest. Like, you don't want it to only be what the game says it could be to solve the puzzle. It's not, I have to find the egg, and you have to it's until you hit egg that you can solve the puzzle. That it's whatever you figured out.
Right.
Whatever you thought. Oftentimes when you're playing a game, you're like, yeah, that's what it is, but it should have been this. Well, this game, it's what it should have been can actually happen, unless you were totally an idiot, you know? Unless you just didn't figure it out. But there's I had this incredible experience in the start screen where you could just conjure anything and see them.
Yeah, it's almost a game in and of itself.
I conjured a chupacabra, which is rad. Nice. Then I conjured a vampire. The vampire turned the chupacabra into a vampire, and anything I conjured, it would turn into a vampire. So I was being worked until I finally conjured a cross, and then they all went away. Awesome. And then there's the puzzle where I had to start the car, and I conjured a power line to go from and then lightning to strike the power line to start the. That came from not from deducing or whatever.
Yeah,
it just
not
came
from Back to the Future at all.
I just want to say one thing though. There is an element to it that's very Family Feud. It's very games where you just have to give to someone something, and what does Santa need, you know? And it's like, okay, I just need to come up with the thing that most people would assume is the thing that Santa needs.
But did you try to gold star that level?
No.
See, that's where the game is brilliant.
Well, of course, because you could Family Feud.
Once that's
there's
out
number
of the,
one choice, and there's 5 other things.
You have to start thinking outside the box.
No,
and it's built into the game.
It does get a little old.
Did it get old for you, sir, or did it just?
So I think I understand what this episode is all about. I was actually really disappointed with Scribblenauts.
Wow.
I was surprised. Now, given I had not seen the E3 stuff, so I was sort of infected with your enthusiasms for the game. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's really cool. But then we went and started having this thing of well, how do you control it? Is it just automated? And blah, blah, blah. There are some really cool transcendent moments, which I loved.
Yeah.
And those moments, I think, is the reason why you get this game, and you should get this game. I put a marshmallow on the tip of a spike at one point.
Oh!
Yes, no idea why I did that. I was like, maybe a marshmallow, and it balanced on the tip of the spike, and things fell, and it was totally cool, because it did marshmallow.
Awesome.
So there were moments like that I was like, yeah. There were a lot of other moments, and those other moments were, why is a chain acting like a flopping dead fish? Or why would you think that I wanted to jump off of that cliff into a pot when I really just wanted to highlight that box over there? Why? there were so many whys. There were so many times where I felt like it wasn't that the thing I conjured wasn't successful. It was that the physics of the game didn't implement correct. Like I would hang something over something and I'd be like, here. And it would hit the thing and somehow flip it into a weird angle where I was like, it's a pillow. It should not let that box go flying off into everything else. So there were a lot of frustrations for me of the using of the items was the failure. I've solved the puzzle. You know, this happened to me in the bear level. Jetpack, fire. Psh, amazing. Shovel first. Dug through the little thing, boom, put on a jetpack, lit a fire behind the bear. The bear was like, bah, jumps off the cliff. Great. Now all I need to do is shoot up the jetpack into the thing. It took me 5 times. 5 times. Just because the guy, when I was moving him in, the action platformer didn't work. The solution was true. That is the solution, and that's how I got it. So it worked. But it was the act, and that really got me old and frustrated. And then I was like, then it's not as much fun because then I'm just like, I know what it is. I'm just trying to get it to.
You know, I agree with you guys to a certain extent. It is such an ambitious premise that I found myself thinking so far outside the box that I would get bummed when the game didn't recognize that. But it's like, it's almost asking the impossible. Because, you know, there's one level where it says...
it's telling you to ask
there's a referee and a soccer goal, and it says score. Yeah. And I thought, I'm gonna be brilliant. I'm gonna create a basketball hoop and a basketball and score my own game and not even have to play his game, because all it said is score. Game didn't recognize that as being a thing. There's another level where it says the clue is trick or treat, right? Well, I thought, I'm not gonna do the treat. I'm gonna do the trick. It's much more interesting. So I conjured a magic wand and I turned one of the little kids into a frog. Now,
that's cool.
I guarantee you none of those kids saw a better trick than that all night.
Right.
But the game made me fail because I killed one of the kids.
I don't know if I'd say you killed the kid.
You know,
he's not happy.
Here's what is wonderful and magical and special about this game. A friend of mine, Amy Jo, I gave a copy of the game to, and she and I had a conversation on the phone about how we solve certain levels.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that.
That is where this game is absolutely staggering, because it's like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. It worked for you, it didn't work. And the storylines that you create, which is sort of the definition of emergent gameplay, you know, that gaming buzzword, which is gameplay that just happens. They didn't even know that it was in the game. That is what's so amazing about this title, and it's why this. I really think it's one of the must-play games of the year, because you just have to experience that level of creativity.
And I agree with that. Though I was disappointed with the game as a game-playing experience, to be able to have those moments where you write something and you go, marshmallow, what? Why would that work? Fire butt, and he jumps off? I love it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's definitely worth a buy. I was just a little disappointed with my experience.
And you were disappointed too? You would write down.
It's not that I was disappointed. It's just that I had the experience that I wanted.
And you're done with it.
I'm not done with it. I'll go back to this every 2. I didn't want to sit there for 8. I thought I was going to sit there for 8 hours and just, what else can I dream of? And I was like,
I found myself getting lost in going to the next level and figuring out the next level.
Yeah.
I'm going to try. And then the ones that were really obvious, I would be like, well, now I'm going to try to gold star it and see if I can. Yeah. And that's just incredible.
All right, everybody, before we get to our email, we do want to thank our sponsors, such lovely sponsors as Squarespace.com. Now, at the beginning of the show, we talked about how crazy our relaunch was, but one of the things is we've completely redesigned TotallyRadShow.com. It is amazing.
It really does look great, man.
It is, and the guys over at Squarespace hooked us up. It is unbelievable, all done on Squarespace. Yep. Managed currently by me, which just goes to show you how great the WYSIWYG editor is.
Yeah. And it's easy, right? I mean, you just log on and update stuff.
So amazing. So we're very, very, very thankful. Thank you, Squarespace.com. And you can get Squarespace on your site by going to Squarespace.com and use the promo code TRS when you check out, and you'll get 10% off the entire lifetime of your site, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, if you're just watching this show because it's in your iTunes feed, check out the new TotallyRadShow.com.
Yeah.
We think you're gonna like it.
It's pretty epic.
We're also very happy to be sponsored by Halo ODST, which is the new version of Halo where you get to play the game from a completely new perspective. You're one of these troopers that gets shot to Earth. Well, not Earth, New Mombasa, I guess it is.
Yeah.
You get shot.
But what if it is Earth?
I think it is Earth.
BSG.
The Covenant's there. Anyway, the idea is that you're kind of piecing together this mystery, and so you see the world through all these different eyes. Super cool. Big thrust on multiplayer in this game. They have 2 discs that the game ships with. The second disc has all the multiplayer maps from Halo 3, plus a bunch of new ones. You can get more details at xbox.com/Halo, but /ODST. Right?
Halo. And it's out now, right?
It's September 22nd.
Dude, epic.
Also, we are brought to you by GoDaddy. GoDaddy.com is where you get all your web domains and hosting. Domain names, very cheap. We've all bought our domains from there. Totally
Sounds like a pirate day!
Hey.
TotallyRatchet.com was purchased with GoDaddy. Really great customer service. If you go to revision3.com/GoDaddy, they have a whole bunch of promo codes for you to pick from there.
Yep. Let's get into our email, shall we? So this is from Chris Dickerson. Dear Alex Dixon, dear Alex, Dan, Jeff, and Mike, episode 128 will mark a year since my first episode of TRS. Amazing.
Thanks for sticking around.
You guys have made me look forward to every Tuesday, and I thank you, and we return the favor, sir. I'm about ready to start my first year of college at Penn State University, Philly. Or near it, Pennsylvania.
Up northeast Pennsylvania.
Touching
also the same
was
state.
necessary.
Touching was indeed
necessary. Penn State University within the next week. A lot of my friends are also going there, so luckily I will know a lot of people. Good on you for that. I will also be keeping up with Totally Rad Show every week. Yay! My only concern is my roommate. Now, I've emailed him and talked to him on Facebook, and he seems all right, although his Facebook page says otherwise, so what does this Facebook says? Are you nice or not nice? Not nice! So naturally, I don't know why he dipped that switch. So naturally, I'm not sure how things are gonna be. Now, this brings me to my question for you guys. Actually, 3-part question, but sort of the same genre. Where did you guys go to college? How did you get along with your first roommate? And how was your first week of college? Keep it rad. Chris Dixon. No ers.
No ers.
No ers. Good question, Chris. Yeah. Jeffrey?
Well, the whole world has changed since we were in college. Whereas,
you were a gaucho.
Since I was I went to UC Santa Barbara, as I mentioned on the show before, but and loved it there. But we didn't have the ability to like Facebook check folks or even Google them.
Or MySpace, yeah.
Back in the day, when we were in college, I remember getting my first email address and being thrilled. I think it's a whole new world when you get to sort of check out people that way. My first roommate and I. We had a cordial relationship, not the best relationship. He was a huge Mariah Carey fan.
Wow.
And had Mariah Carey playing often in the dorm, and I myself was more into the 9 Inch Nails, Pearl Jam, grunge of the late 90s.
STP.
Yeah. But we got along all right. I had a great first week, and it was I became friends with a lot of people on my dorm floor. Did you guys live in the dorms?
Yeah.
Yeah. Temple University.
It's a Temple man right here.
It's really frustrating whenever I say I went to Temple, because people are like, you're that religious?
Yep, I thought that from the beginning.
too.
I had a lot of friends at Temple, and I was like, all right.
John Rosenberg and I know each other from Temple.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's literally the sentence you said.
That's awesome. First of all, the cool thing about when I went to college freshman year was everyone was downloading American Pie off of Napster. It was
song?
I went to not the song. That's when you went to college.
Oh, 70s.
No, but like
70s.
But no, the Napster that birthed in college and that was me. That was my college years.
You screwed it up for everybody. Thanks, Dan.
But no, my roommate Kirk Thrasher, really nice dude. A couple.
Created Thrasher magazine.
Also
the one thing
Kirk
that you guys,
magazine.
I think I've told you,
It wasn't successful.
that I had,
Kirk
your parents would send you food, or you'd keep food in the dorms because you didn't feel like going down the whatever, and there was no place to get food late at night.
Hoarding.
Yeah.
Oh, he stole your food. You told the story before.
Oh,
yes!
My kudo bars. Yes! He stole my kudos. So
he stole my kudos.
Yeah, I had kudos underneath my bed.
I totally forgot about your
Mike's
kudos
cracking
bars.
up. I had my kudo bars underneath my bed, saving them.
Hoarding
them.
Hoarding
Yes,
them.
of course. Why would you eat them now when
like
you
you
could
would
wait
for a good
later?
wine.
Like med packs in a video game.
Yes.
I did not want to use any of them. And he would devour his food whenever he got it. And
Or
I was
your food.
savoring my shit. And one day I go back, I can't find my kudos. Dude, come to find out, a huge mystery. The whole floor is working, on the mystery of Dan's Kudo bars.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And what
they are.
happened is,
Amazing.
and what happened was, not only did he just take, and he was like hungry, and sometimes I grab a pretzel out of his whatever. Him and his buddy ate all of my Kudo bars and then threw away the box as if I would have forgotten that they ever existed.
And that's when they found Kirk Thrasher with a Kudo bar shoved up his ass. In a bloody
Chocolate all over his
Chocolate.
Or, yes.
And that mystery was never solved.
Alex, did you have a
Sounds like a great first week.
roommate? Didn't happen the first
So
week.
I went to American University in Washington, D.C. I had a very interesting deal with my roommate because one of the things that you can do at American, probably at a lot of colleges, is you can kind of request another freshman to be your roommate. So like two friends could be like, let's be roommates.
So you had a buddy?
No, I went to a freshman overnight and met a number of people, and one of them was like this one guy who we didn't have roommates, and I was like, I already kind of know this guy, and he seems cool. I'll just, random draw, let's not do that. And so we even picked our dorm, like the hall that we were gonna stay in and all that stuff. So I talked to him on the phone, I'd spent a couple days with him. That said, we were sort of cool at the beginning, everything was like, blah, blah, blah. By the end, it had become pretty standoffish and not that great. But then because we also pledged fraternity together at the same time, so there was a constant like, we got to go to do the pledge stuff, and then we would go, and we would have conflict as pledge
Did they
members.
spank you? Yeah, they
And then
spanked
we would
me.
have to go back and be like, okay.
Did you have to do
good
something
night.
you'll never speak about again?
Yeah.
Yes, I did too.
You know what
But anyway, so we had to start off really good, and then it kind of and my first week was amazing, scary as hell. That was
first time away
scary
from
as
home,
hell, but it was awesome. That's where I met, some great friends that I had for my entire college career and still talk to. And
I want to impart something to go along with that.
Also,
the
girls.
day I moved in, after meeting a roommate, I went around to the entire floor and introduced myself as people were moving in.
What
I
a
felt a little
gentleman.
bit like a nerd. I embarrassed myself in front of a few people, but one of the dudes I introduced myself to who lived the 2 doors over,
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg, and look where he is. He has not helped me out. No, the opposite. It was not as
He's now a homeless
my
person.
friend who's not nearly successful. Mark Walker, my buddy.
Yeah.
We've now written a screenplay. I mean, we have
that's cool.
stayed friends. We are working together to this day. I never would have met him if I had not introduced myself that day,
Yeah.
because we wouldn't have. Yeah. So.
On my dorm floor was our old Mike, known as Steve.
oh, that's right. That's where you met Steve.
So go around and introduce yourself. Make a fool of
Yeah.
yourself, but they will all feel like that dude's got balls.
And here's the other thing: is everybody is in the same situation you're in. This is what my dad said the night before I went.
Toast
he
and
said,
goats.
just know that everybody there knows no one. So when you're going up to saying hi to somebody, you're actually doing what you would like somebody to do to you, in a very comfortable way.
Cut to this guy going into a room and everyone's like, hey man, remember 99 what we were doing? Yeah. They cut to, hey.
Remember 99?
I don't know.
All right, well, thank you, Chris. If you would like to have your email read on the show, please feel free to send it to fans@totallyradshow.com.
That's also where you would
The
send
new
us.
totallyradshow.com.
That's also where you would send us a background like Gustav did. Thanks again, Gustav.
Thank you so much. And thank
Speaking
you,
of-
Nikki Smith,
Yes.
for our new amazingness.
Probably have seen stuff that she's done before throughout the years of our show. She's a fantastic friend of the show.
Yeah, Valentine's Day background.
Very talented.
Mother's
with the face
Day,
and the
Mother's Day,
Photoshop.
Mother's Day and
Day.
Valentine's Day backgrounds.
Yeah.
A couple others.
And
probably.
now,
And now
the
the
ongoing
show.
segment. So thank you, Nikki. You're amazing.
And also Mike's ninja skills of the cool swoop and animation and paper holding. Because he dropped his papers.
I would
in
love,
bag.
as the
That's
weeks go forward and you
subtle.
guys get a better idea of what we're doing and it kind of settles in and the shock of newness kind of wears off, I would love to hear from you. I think we all would love to hear from you. Send us an email. Let us know what you think of the relaunch.
Yeah.
Wait, give it a couple weeks because you're going to be
Yeah, give it
seeing
a couple
something.
weeks.
I just said.
And I'm reiterating.
Just say it.
I'm reiterating.
reiterate.
All right, let's do this.
What?
No, sir. No, sir. What did I remember?
The very important thing that we forgot to mention last week, which is that we are doing a fantastic 24-hour game marathon for charity.
I literally had that moment where my brain was going, what are we doing?
It's called Extra Life, and we are so proud to be a part of it. Sarcastic Gamer started it last year. This is the second year. We have our own page where you can sign up and pledge, and every cent of it is going to help pediatric cancer research, which is a really awesome cause. And you're going to be able to see, we're going to talk about more about what exactly we're doing.
Yes.
It'll be October 17th, but go to the website.
It's right down here on these new amazing graphics.
It's also on our brand new blog page on
What up?
TotallyRadShow.com. which you should check out.
TotallyRadShow.com/blog, I think.
Yeah, you can sign up to participate with us or to help us out by pledging. Please
Yes.
consider doing that.
It'll be super
It's
fun.
gonna be epic.
And also, jinx.com/TRS for all of your TRS needs. That is it for this edition of Totally Right Show. Max Albert.
All right, time to add these bad boys up.
I was interestingly, 1, 2, 3 of my movie. Time that better. Oh, by the way, I wanted to bring. I don't know if people have watched Monday Night Football, but John Gruden sits exactly like I do. He does. He's a wide stancer.
No one ever said this. You're the only guy who sits that way.
Yeah, we just say.
It's probably
try to
really,
make it seem
it's probably
so
really,
bizarre and terrible.
It's probably really
the only
uncomfortable
person
sitting next to
we
John
know.
Gruden also.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You're the only
he's
person
awesome.
we know that does that.
So if you've been watching our, are you ready?
No, I am.
Did you just scare him?
Dan was like this.
No, I was looking at the.
It doesn't matter.
My butt?
Let's start us the show.
Come here.